Next up, question. What short courses are available to help you improve your income or your employability? What skill or talent do you have that you could monetize? So, what skill or talent do you have that you could make money off? And lastly, are you using technology? Are you using ChatGPT and other AI to help improve your efficiency, improve the way that you run your business? Right now, we're going to talk about income, how to increase your income, how to start and run a business. I refer to it as startups and side hustles. The first thing you want to do if you are working 9 to 5 and you do have a PAYE job is why not ask for a raise? Now, you're probably saying, Anthony, I work in the public sector. It's not something that I can ask for a raise. This won't apply to everybody, but do keep in mind if you are in the private sector or if you're at a job where you can ask for a raise, ask for a raise. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? The worst thing that will happen is they say no. If you're a good employee and you're doing a great job and they're just unable to give you a raise, they're not going to fire you for asking for a raise. But what they will do in most cases, especially if you have a good manager, they will give you a blueprint for success. So, as someone that has managed hundreds, if not thousands, of people in my life over my 30 years in finance, if I had an employee that came to me and asked for a raise, and I really wanted to support them, but I was unable to support them at that time, I would tell them, well, this is what you need to do. And I would give them a blueprint. So that's an informal contract with that person to say, well, these are the skills that you need to improve, or this is what you could do to get a raise. Now, you may not be in a position as a leader where you can definitely guarantee that, but certainly you would do your best to help someone get the information that they need. It may be, well, if you did this particular course, if you got this additional qualification, that would help me as a manager, help you get a raise. I hear a lot of people talk about starting a business. Let me just say, it's not for everybody. It's not glamorous. It's not this thing where you start your business based on your passion and then all of a sudden you're a millionaire. The reality is, running a business is hard. But if you have what it takes, you're persistent and you're consistent, running and starting a business can be a great way to use your skills and talents. So consider starting a business, but don't think about just what you're passionate about. Think about what the need is. Think about what need you can address and what problems you can solve. Or you may decide to do what we refer to as a side hustle. Well, side hustle is something that you can do alongside your job. You may decide that you want to bake cakes. You may want to tutor people. There are a lot of platforms out there that will enable you to use your talent and your skill outside of your 9 to 5 and provide services that you can be paid for. But keep in mind that the tax man is going to want their cut. So the gig economy is now regulated, it's monitored, and the tax man will want his cut. So if you're thinking about ways of improving your income, you want to explore gig platforms such as Upwork and Fiverr. These are platforms where you can put your services on there and then people can put jobs on there and you can apply for those jobs, or they can contact you directly. Another great way of improving your income, or maybe even discovering a great way to do a side hustle, is to research some short courses or certification. There are tons of certifications out there, such as Prince, so you could do project management, and a good project manager can make a really good day rate or get a job within most organizations where they'll be able to get a great salary. You could do that as an income producing first job, or you could do that as a side hustle. But don't discount yourself. Don't think that just because you're in a particular role, you cannot increase your income. And if you're looking for a mortgage, as I said, it's about your credit, it's about your income, and it will also be about your deposit. But if you have more income, you'll be able to generate a higher deposit, which means it will give you access to more houses and get you closer to where you want to be. You definitely want to consider either starting a business, starting a side hustle, or getting a pay raise where you're currently working. Another thing that people tend to underestimate, and I don't say this because I wrote a book, I wrote a book because someone introduced me to the concept of writing a book. I am a firm believer that every single person has at least one book and one song in them. I used a platform called KDP, or Kindle Desktop Publishing, to publish all of the books that I've done. I've written about 5 at this point. When I was approaching 50, I said, what is my bucket list? What are some of the things that I want to do before I leave this earth? Now, I'm not a person that could write fiction because that's not my thing. So I thought about what are the things that I'm good at? What information do I currently have that I can share with other people to add value to them and exchange my information for money through a book? So consider writing a book. Connect with me on LinkedIn and I can show you everything that you need to do. There's platforms that can help you with your writing. And as I said, you can use technology to proofread. So yes, you may read my book, A Mortgage is a Big Loan. You may read the book and pick up on a typo, or someone said that one of the chapters was off or something. But the bottom line is this: I've added value to a lot of people's lives by sharing information that I have. I speak at a lot of events and I get invited to speak at a lot of events. I like to give back, especially to young people. So sometimes I'm invited by nonprofits or not-for-profits to speak at the event. Now, I do prefer to be paid for my time, but in the event that they're unable to pay me my time, I always need my travel expenses. But if they're unable to pay me for my time, one of the things that I do is I would say, well, in order for me to speak, I need my travel expenses, plus you need to order X amount of copies of my book. Then the book becomes the textbook or the thing that you talk about during the conversation with people. So if you've never thought about it, think about it now. Think about writing a book. If you have thought about it, make sure you reach out to me. I can show you all the tools to self-publish a book. I do have support mechanisms. I even have some AI that will help you write your first book. And if you've already written a book, why not write another one? Writing a book can be a great way to increase and improve the value that you bring to people, and also just one of those things that you can tick off your bucket list.